Yeah.
So I was only allowed to go up the back.
Yeah, that's it.
You have to turn that down.
Sister.
Seriously, we've got some. Is that? Yeah, that's.
There we go. Okay. Looks like we're live or heard double audio, so looks like we're good.
Nope. That ain't work.
So.
We got
so.
Hang on.
Go on.
Got some glare going on here. Yeah.
So I printed out my stories because I was like, this is going to be a lot to read on my phone.
I think I did mine different than you guys did yours, but it's all chicken scrawled.
I printed the story that I was changing and then wrote my lines down instead. And then I did do a handwritten of my nursery rhymes. So.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah. Took a few attempts. So. Yeah, seriously, we got some.
I don't know what are you seeing? What is that?
Right.
Is it off your head?
No, it's not. Right there. That would be off the TV. Let me move the TV. Hang on.
Okay. Still don't know what he's looking at. Is that better?
My headroom was a little much. I need to crank that up just a little bit. There we go.
Is that better, Pumpkin?
Okay, there we go.
No.
Not any better.
Right there. Must be
on your face.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Me?
Makes it look shinier than it's supposed to. See, it's there when I'm still there. See, it's not me. It's the light that's... Shut up. It's on my head.
It's all good, dude. I got that glare that's right.
Yeah, I see.
Right there.
Yeah. See, but that's fine. Like I do have a little bit, but this is you can see. I don't know if you can see it on the. Anyway, I can see it. Right there.
I can see a little bit of it too. It's not that bad though.
Yeah, well, it feels like it's right in my.
Right over your eyeball.
Yeah. Shut it off my head. Anyway. Shut up.
Wow, you realize it's been a while since we've done this?
It has been a while.
It has, yeah. I just did a podcast on Tuesday, though.
Oh,
what?
What cost would that be?
Be sustainably geeky.
Geeky.
We talked about water conservation.
Drink beer.
Yeah.
Water.
I need to talk to the guy about the music. I have not had a chance. I finally got after the show, I've got to tell you about everything that's going on with my job. It is insane. Okay. But yeah, I finally got all the STEM laptops going, and I was like, okay, well, next I'll start on inventory. Yay!
Fuck inventory. Forget it.
Yeah.
It's totally worthless.
But I did. I printed out both of. I don't have them here. They're outside. So I was going to. I got both of the pistols printed for Nicholas because he's going to be Captain Rex and he uses pistols. And I got I got the general sanding done on Alex's rifle. I had to, of course, went on and took all the the BS warning stuff on there, and where it actually says Star Wars, it's like, yeah, I don't think a Stormtrooper rifle is actually going to say Star Wars on it.
Sand it off.
Yeah, got all that stuff sanded off. I got I got all the paint roughed up so that it will absorb the paint, because apparently this type of plastic, from what I've heard, doesn't want to take paint very well. Yeah. So I was taking care of all that, and I was like, all right, well, I can get a few more things done before the boys go to bed. And then Christy comes in and goes, the dryer stopped working.
Oh, no.
So I was like, all right, well, let's start checking. So it was making a squealing sound. And I thought, okay, maybe the belt is, the belt shouldn't be that old, but maybe it's having a problem with the belt. Well, whenever it stopped working, I thought, well, maybe the belt broke. Maybe that's what it was. It started squealing and it just happened to break. So I took apart the front. Nope, belt's still on there. Belt still looks like it's in pretty good condition. So I'm like, all right, let me check the front thing. Nope, continuity there. That's working. Well, maybe it's the thermal sensor, because I've had to replace that multiple times.
Yeah.
On the back, check that out. Nope, continuity there. Everything's fine there. I was like, all right, maybe it's the start button. So I check it, continuity there, and I'm like, well, well, damn it. From what I'm reading, the only thing left is the actual motor. And I'm like, it's
You know
always
what? Change
something.
the motor.
So I was like, you know what? We're just going to try this. So I kind of put it back together and plugged it in and hit the start button. It worked. And I don't know if something was loose. I don't know what was that. I don't know what I did to fix it, but it's working. So I'm like,
Could have been one of the wires just not making a good connection.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Probably on the start button.
And that could have been. And of course, I vacuumed the thing out as I'm going, and I'm just like, well, at least it's had its annual deep clean at this point. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah, we've got fruit flies like crazy right now.
We've got just a few normal flies right now, and I'm just like, really? It's freaking October.
Fruit flies are going
Everywhere
crazy.
right now.
I'm gonna go plug them.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
All right.
They're just flying like right in front of our face, and it's pretty annoying.
I hate flies. So how have y'all been otherwise?
Good. Yeah. Good. In the throes of school, we're more busier this year than we were last year. After school stuff, Quinn started doing archery, which he loves, which is great. Yeah, he's like one step closer to being Link.
Awesome.
Your earbuds? I don't know where they are. Did you not get them? You got them back from Addie. Okay, I don't know where they are. Earbuds. Oh, my sister says hi, by the way.
Do I know?
My sister.
Oh,
She says,
okay.
hi, U.S. friends.
Well, tell her I said hello.
Well, she's texting me. We're going to her house tomorrow for Thanksgiving, and she was texting me, and I was giving her like one word answer. She's like, "What's the matter? Are you mad? What's the problem? What's going on?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm doing a podcast." Shh.
I gotta get that last flux capacitor in the mail. The woman who's buying this one, was asking, "Is it going to be here should it be there by next week?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't get it in the mail early enough today because it only stayed open until 1, and I still had to print a few more things for it. But and then of course tomorrow's being Sunday, and then Monday's a holiday. I'm like, it should still get there because it's 2-day shipping. So even if they don't pick it up till Tuesday, it should still get there by Thursday. But she said it's for her kid's Halloween costume, and I'm like, oh, okay. Are they? Is she going as Doc or Marty? And she wrote back. She said, both of my boys are going as Doc and Marty, and she's turning their wagon into a DeLorean. And I'm like,
Nice.
hell yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cute.
So,
Sorry, did you say you guys have a holiday tomorrow?
Yeah, what's Monday for you guys?
We
I
have
don't know. I just don't have work. We're going to look here. Monday is Monday's the bullshit holiday. Columbus Day.
That's like our August civic holiday.
Yeah.
Just for no reason we get in.
No, well, August is to celebrate the it's a civic holiday. Oh yeah, and then Labor Days. Anyway.
And then we have that one in February, the Family Day, which is a bullshit one too.
Our Monday is a holiday as well this year, because it is our Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do it differently than you because having it in November.
Just feel like that's a lot of
turkey back to back.
Back to back.
That's why a lot of my family will do ham for Christmas, and there are several members of Christy's family that don't like ham, so that it's I'm like, well, that would solve that issue, but so
I'm gonna turkey out.
Oh yeah, feels good. And you know what? I gotta drown it in gravy.
You don't like the taste of meat, though, so.
No, I don't. We've lost Eugene.
I'm here.
Who shot who in the what now?
Yeah, exactly. No, see, I'm not normally a big turkey person either. I'm like you. I used to like just drown it in gravy or whatever. But since I started smoking it stays moist better. And so.
Listen, I found a way to. if I do the turkey, I cook it with apples in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives it a really nice, sweeter taste, and it's moist, and it tastes nice.
Your mom refuses.
And my mom refuses because she says that she needs to have the dressing inside the turkey. But I think it's disgusting that you stuff it with bread and then eat that bread. And it's just, it's an ass. And anyway.
She likes the way the dressing tastes. I think your mom likes the dressing taste. She doesn't really care about what the turkey tastes like.
No, but it just dries out
the turkey. It dries out the turkey.
So I'm like,
yeah, that sucks.
It's separately.
Yeah, they had a bit of a discussion while they were here.
No, I need it inside the turkey.
No, nobody's gonna eat the dressing, I'm gonna make the dressing the way I want.
Which doesn't make any sense because we have stovetop.
Yeah, stop stuffing.
And you know what? my uncle's heart doctor actually said stovetop is better because the grease from the turkey doesn't get inside the dressing.
Then eat stuffing. So better choice.
Yeah, from that aspect, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Cardiologist say, go with the stovetop. It's better.
Eat the preservative. Better.
I wonder if he actually had some stock in stovetop, and maybe that's what.
No, I don't think he's getting any kickbacks.
No, probably not. Oh well. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Oh, I gotta think about picks and pans, too. I have one pick. I got one pick.
Is it tonight?
No.
The hockey.
Sai says, have a good show tonight, gang. Take care. And I got a notification saying he's streaming. I'm like, yeah, you too. You could come join us.
It's you.
Exactly. So...
someday we'll see you again.
Oh, wait a minute. He says, I'm at work.
Dude.
That sucks.
Take the rest of the night off.
I thought you were, yeah, there you go. I thought it said you were streaming. Like, I thought I got a notification saying you were streaming, or did you retweet that? Let me see here. Let me check the Twitter because it's going to be a second before it gets to him. We'll see here.
Twitter.
The Twitter.
The Twitter, because I'm that old.
Hey, you said it.
Okay, yeah, he was retweeting us. So thank you for that, Terps.
Thank you, Sai. We miss you. Come back. Please.
Sorry, got sidetracked. Okay, so that's the thing. Brain. All right. Yeah, so after the show, I'll have to tell you about all the stuff going on with my job because it's
good. It's fun.
It's a thing.
Pays the bills.
So that's right.
And we'll make sure that the comments are off of the stream.
Yes. So, all right then. He said he misses us too. Aw. Tear. I guess I was going to get started. So, let's see here. I'm going to mute the mics. No, I'm not going to do that quite yet. I got to think about this because it's been
it's been a while.
It's only been 2 weeks, but it's been almost a month since we've done this show.
Yes, so it has been a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because we did the show, and then 2 weeks ago when we were going to normally do a show was when we did our big interview. And
huge.
Yeah. So that was the thing.
And like next month, maybe?
That's what he said. He said if we could push it to November, that's why I changed kind of the schedule around, and I'm planning on here in about 2 weeks, letting him know, hey, listen, if you're still up for it. So
that'd be cool.
That would be super cool. I still can't believe we got to talk to him. It's so awesome.
He just needs a camera next time.
Yeah, and I guess I thought I communicated that to him, but I guess I didn't. So
it actually made it a lot easier to talk to him without seeing his face.
Although I would love to see.
Like he still wasn't quite real, like.
Right. Yeah.
That made
it's just this voice we're talking to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some voice doesn't matter. It was actually Eugene throwing his voice.
Yeah.
I got really good.
Eugene pre-recorded him.
Yes.
And these
and
were
knew what we were going to say.
That's right.
Because you know you're my friends and I know everything. So
that's right.
That's right. All right, now we're gonna get started. All right, here we go. Eating the.
You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 102. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, what was your favorite children's book growing up, Ray?
Oh, you had to start with me. You know what? It was pretty much. You know what it was?
What?
Where's Waldo?
Really?
I loved Where's Waldo, and I would go and look for all the funny things before I try and find Waldo.
Uh-huh.
I would. I remember if there was a new one coming out, I had to go and check it out and figure out all that stuff. So yeah, Where's Waldo? It was my favorite.
Were you upset if you found Waldo before you found all the funny things?
No, I mean, there he is. I'll remember that later. What pissed me off was when somebody would circle him and highlight. Yeah. Like, come on, that's just don't do that. Yeah, but it was. There was. Yeah, Where's Waldo was probably, and actually I think Quinn would like Where's Waldo. Now that I think about it,
he probably would.
Looking at all the funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris, what's your favorite children's book growing up?
So when I was younger, it was the Berenstain books.
Okay.
Robert Munch. I got to meet Robert Munch. Hilarious. And then when I got older, it was R.L. Stine and the Babysitter's Club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped reading for quite a while.
Yeah, me too.
I was like the 8th grade and didn't pick it up till I was 28.
Yeah, you know what? Except if it wasn't something that I had to read through middle and high school, I didn't really read. Yeah. So unless it was a video game strategy guide, which I don't think counts. No. Yeah. My favorite book growing up was always The Little Engine That Could, and a close second for me was The Monster at the End of the Book with Grover. It was even vaguely. He worries as you're going through the book. He's worried because there's a monster at the end of the book, and of course, it's him at the end of the book. But
all right,
yeah.
I will add one. Clifford. When I was really little,
I never read any of the Clifford books, and I didn't really I knew of it or whatever, but until I had the boys, and they started watching it, I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is a thing.
This is a thing. Yeah, there's a giant ass big fucking dog. I would not want to be the dad in there cleaning up the shit.
No. And it's always interesting how big he is, because sometimes he's fucking gargantuan, and sometimes he's just really, really big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
the consistency was not. It was lacking.
It was a children's book.
Shh.
Sai says my favorite book growing up was the manual for Microsoft Excel. Fuck you.
Oh, Sai.
Oh, that's actually really funny.
He never read any manual in his life. He just doesn't like manuals. I can see.
Oh, no, I can definitely sign not being a manual. No, unless it's a video game manual, because I think we've had that conversation of being a kid. On the way home, you take it through and you're reading the manual and you're all hyping yourself up. But
because some of them were actually pretty funny. But yeah. Yep.
Quinny's started reading R.L. Stine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he's a big fan of the Captain Underpants books, which are hilarious.
Are they?
Oh my God, they're so funny. And they're so smart.
Yeah.
They're really well written.
Well, tonight's topic is actually we're revisiting one. So after episode 101, where Ray and I basically talked about every episode, I actually went back and re-listened to all of them. And there are a lot of topics. We're actually going to be revisiting a lot of topics here coming up, because some of these topics I was like, that was a good one. We need to do that again. And that's what we're doing again tonight. We're actually going back to one of our topics all the way back to I think single digit episodes. and this was when we took monsters and put them into children's books. Mm-hmm. And you talking about you know, your kids getting into, you know, certain book series. My boys have loved Pete the Cat, and so that was one of the first ones that I adapted tonight was a Pete the Cat book. So I actually went ahead and wrote 2 stories. Mm-hmm. I know Ray said he's got a story, and then he's got
some nursery rhymes.
And you've got 2 as well.
I've figured out 2. My creativity was not with me today.
Gotcha. Well, with that said, who would like to go first?
I can start us off with a quick little nursery rhyme.
That works.
So you gotta.
What is it?
Well, it's to row your boat, and that comes out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So forgive me because I'm it is what it is. Yeah. Row your boat across Crystal Lake. Jason is coming. He's after you, and your life he'll take. So.
That's awesome. I was like, okay, is he going to change all the words? But no, I like that. Row your boat across Crystal Lake. Okay. Oh my God, that's funny.
You know, because I was thinking about like how a lot of movies now, and I remember in the 90s too, like Candyman was changing some of the children's things to be more creepy, and Freddy Krueger was a big one as well. So I was trying to think of a Freddy Krueger one, and I just never came up with it for that. But I'll try and think of another one. But
oh, good deal. Yeah, I'm gonna jump. Well, unless you want to go, Chris, I was gonna go. No,
you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So like I said, the first one that I wrote is a Pete the Cat book, and I had to go through, and I remembered most of the characters, but I did have to look up a few of them just because I mean they're like really simple or whatever, but I'm just like, there's a little part of me also tonight. The boys got to bed kind of late, and Christy's like, I'll go ahead and read them a bedtime story, and there was a little part of me that was like, should I offer to read them my Pete the Cat story? So I'll read it, and then y'all can tell me whether or not I should have offered to read it to the boys. So, all right, so here we go. Pete the Cat, Monster Hunter Pete. All right. Pete the Cat, Grumpy Toad, Alligator, and Gus the Platypus were hanging out in their hideout when Callie ran in. Callie said, "There are monsters all over the neighborhood. Someone needs to help us." Pete, Grumpy Toad, Alligator, and Gus threw on their equipment and set out into the night. As they drove around, Pete sang his song. I love my crossbow, I love my crossbow, I love my crossbow. They stopped at Squirrel's house to look around. They heard a moan, and Squirrel came shambling around the corner. He had been turned into a zombie. Before they could react, Squirrel took a big bite out of Gus. Pete knew what to do. He shot his crossbow and killed Zombie Squirrel. Then he said goodbye to Gus and shot him as well. Pete was sad. He lost 2 of his friends. But did he cry? Goodness, no. He kept singing a song. I love my crossbow. I love my crossbow. I love my crossbow. Pete, Grumpy Toad, and Alligator kept driving around looking for monsters. They stopped at Turtle's house to look around. They heard a snarl, and Turtle leaped out from around the corner. He had been turned into a were-turtle. Before they could react, Turtle took a big bite out of Alligator. Pete knew what to do. He shot his crossbow and killed were-turtle. Then he said goodbye to Alligator and shot him as well. Oh. Pete was sad. He lost 2 more of his friends. But did he cry? Goodness, no. He kept singing his song. I love my crossbow. I love my crossbow. I love my crossbow. Pete and Grumpy Toad kept driving around looking for monsters. They stopped at Owl's house to look around. They heard a hiss, and Owl leaped out from around the corner. He had been turned into a vampire. Before he could react, Owl took and sank his teeth into Grumpy Toad. Pete knew what to do. He shot his crossbow and killed Owl. Then he said goodbye to Grumpy Toad and shot him as well. Pete was sad. He lost 2 more of his friends. But did he cry? Goodness, no. He kept singing his song. I love my crossbow. I love my crossbow. I love my crossbow. Pete had killed all of the monsters and went back to his hideout where Callie was waiting. Pete told Callie about all the monsters and how he had to shoot all of their friends. Callie gave Pete a big hug. Then she sank her fangs into Pete. She was a vampire too. Pete knew what to do. He shot his crossbow and killed Callie. Pete was sad and hurt, but did he cry? Goodness, no. He kept singing a song. I love my crossbow. I love the night. I love the night. And then he threw his crossbow away. So should I offer to read this to the boys or not?
I think that
maybe not.
Okay, I'll skip that one. So
thinking that a were-turtle would look kind of cute.
That would be
I was trying to figure that out. I was like, were-turtle. Okay, yeah, I'm sure we'll go with it. So
Wicket with a shell.
Wicket with a shell.
That's funny. All right, Chris, what do you have for us?
Okay, so I did it a little bit differently than the two of you because I would have actually written like a whole book. So I had to restrain myself and do more of like a Wikipedia plot summary, or we'd be here for a while. So the first one I picked was The Snowy Day, which was written by Ezra J. Keats in 1962. And so this is my take on The Snowy Day. So the little boy in there, his name is Peter. So Peter, wanting to go outside to play in the snow, finds an unlikely companion, a Yeti. The Yeti, having the ability to show itself only when it wants to, finds Peter very interesting. They decide to play all day long. They have snowball fights with the older boys. They make snow angels. And they are both having a lot of fun. But when Peter has to go home, the Yeti, instantly overcome with an overwhelming loneliness, takes Peter's hand and leads him into the woods, never to be seen again.
All right. That one's a little darker. That's kind of like how my second one goes. Real quick, Cyrus wrote something in the chat. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, which was Jill's fault, because all he wanted was some peace and quiet so he could write. But no, her and that goddamn boy, they could not leave him alone. Why are you crying? Jack's not going to hurt you. He's just going to bash your fucking brains in.
Oh my God, Simon.
Okay. You don't know what he's referencing, right?
No.
Jack from The Shining?
Oh, I've never seen that.
That's right.
All he needed was to work in red rum somehow, and he'd be good to go.
Red room. Yeah.
I know that Shining reference.
Yeah,
there you go.
All right. So I'll do my other nursery rhyme one. Think of the Incy Wincy spider, or the Itsy Bitsy spider, as it's known up this way.
Okay.
All right. The quick and deadly vampire came through the open window. He snuck through the house and found you all alone. He drained you of your blood and left you abhorrent. So now the night is yours, and it's your turn to go hunt.
I love that. That is awesome.
It's so cute.
Yeah,
that's great.
I like that one.
It's fun to like change up a little bit.
Through the open window. Oh, and Sai says red rum was too obvious. But all right, okay, so it's mine. Okay, so here's the second one that I wrote. This one's a little bit longer. I had to go back and forth on this one a little bit. I was trying to figure out, other, books that, were really big with kids or whatever. And this is the one that I kept coming back to. And I was just trying to figure out how I was going to go with it. So it's loosely based on the original. So The Taking Tree. Of course. All right. There once was a boy who had nothing. He had no toys to play with, no food to eat, and no clothes to wear. But he was happy. One day, while playing in the woods, he found an old, scary-looking tree. The tree called out to the boy, "Little boy, are you happy?" The boy said, "Yes, very." The tree asked, "Is there nothing that your heart desires?" The boy thought about it and replied, "Well, I would like a ball to play with." The tree said, "I can give you a ball to play with. I just need something in return." The boy said, "But I have nothing to give." The tree said, "You could give me your thoughts." "That would do. Whenever you play with this ball, just think about me." The boy agreed, and a shiny new ball appeared in his hands. The boy went off and played with his new ball for a long time, but when he did, he always thought about the tree. So the boy returned to the tree. It had grown a little taller and was not so old looking. The tree asked, "Little boy, are you happy?" The boy said, "Yes, pretty happy." The tree asked, "Is there nothing that your heart desires?" The boy thought about it and replied, "Well, I would like some food to eat." The tree said, "I can give you some food. I just need something in return." The boy said, "But I have nothing to give." The tree said, "You could give me your time. That would do. As long as you stay here, you will have food to eat." The boy agreed, and a feast appeared before him. The boy ate until he was full. Then he left. This time he returned more frequently, so he could eat. And every time he returned, he saw the tree's branches getting fuller. One day the boy returned to the tree, and the tree asked, "Little boy, are you happy?" The boy said, "Yes, kind of." The tree asked, "Is there nothing that your heart desires?" The boy thought about it and replied, "Well, I would like some nice clothes to wear." The tree said, "I can give you some nice clothes. I just need something in return." The boy said, "But I have nothing to give." The tree said, "You could give me your happiness. That would do. Whenever you wear these clothes, just think happy thoughts." The boy agreed, and a set of new clothes appeared before him. The boy put on the clothes and tried to think happy thoughts, but it was hard. When he played with the ball, he thought of the tree. When he ate the food, he had to be around the tree. And when he wore the clothes, he tried to think happy thoughts, but he couldn't. One day, the boy returned to the tree, which was tall and full and healthy. The tree asked, "Little boy, are you happy?" The boy said, "No. No, I am not." The tree asked, "Is there nothing your heart desires?" The boy did have to think, and he replied, "No, not from you." The tree said nothing. The boy said, "I am giving you back the ball and the clothes, and I will not be eating any more of your food." The tree said nothing. The boy stepped closer and placed the ball and clothes before the tree. The tree said nothing. Then he turned around and began to walk away when he heard the tree say, "What is it you desire?" The tree said, "Is that what you desire?" The boy said, "Yes." And the tree replied, "And what do you have to give?" The boy swallowed and said, "I have nothing to give." The tree said, "Oh, but you do." And the boy felt a branch on his shoulder.
Dun, dun, dun.
So like I said, I went a little darker with that one, just left it up to the
imagination. As soon as you said you can give me your thoughts, I was like, it's creepy.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, first of all, The Giving Tree is such a great book.
Yes.
Makes you just like breaks your heart every time you read it. And I just thought, do I really want to mess with that one? Sure, why not? Yeah. So
Logan liked it. She was listening to it. She gave it a thumbs up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, what's your next one?
Okay, so this one is based on The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, published in 1911. So when Mary arrives at Misselthwaite Manor, because her parents had died from cholera in India, she arrives at the manor of her uncle, Mr. Craven. She is a very grouchy and spoiled and put-out child. But when she finds a secret garden with the help of one of the maids, Martha, she finds something amazing. Though through the long... Oh, what did I write? She finds something amazing. Though thought to be long dead, Mrs. Craven is alive and living in the dark, gray, neglected, stone-walled garden. Mrs. Craven is happy to see Mary, and tells... Mary to tell tells Mary. See, this is why it was supposed to be lower. because I had scribbled out a whole bunch of stuff. So Mrs. Craven tells Mary that she's happy to see her. And she's there because Mr. Craven had banished her there because she had given birth to a weakly son. And she keeps lying to the girl, saying how awful Mr. Craven was and slowly gaining Mary's trust. She tells Mary that her curse will break if she brings Colin, her son, to see her, and it will help her escape. So when Mary asks about telling an adult instead of having to take Colin, Mrs. Craven tells her adults put her there and it would only deepen the curse. So wanting to reunite Colin with his mother, she sneaks Colin out and takes him to the garden. When Colin sees his mother, he cries and goes to her. As soon as they hug, Mrs. Craven's true form emerges. It is revealed that she is a dark and sinister witch. She drains Colin's energy, killing the poor boy. With renewed power, the witch goes after Mary.
Okay.
That's all I had. So I was like, I'm going to start getting into dialogue and landscape. But I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I never read the book, but I loved watching that movie as a kid. And I always thought it was really neat that this big stone wall garden had been totally neglected and nobody had ever been there. And yeah.
I vaguely remember, seeing it and loving it when I was a kid too. So
like 93 or something like that. But
yeah. Very good. Mm-hmm. All right, Ray, you got your story.
I do. It's again more of a song.
It's a song.
It is. A song.
Okay.
Yeah, I went song theme, and I don't know. Anyway, This Old Man, but it's not the old man. It's a bunch of different things.
Okay.
And forgive me, it's longer than usual, so
it's all good.
This gremlin, he played one. He played knick-knack and took my thumb with a knick-knack paddywhack. Give Zool the key. These monsters keep chasing me. We keep going.
I'm loving this already.
This zombie, he played two. He played knick-knack and ate my boo. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. I don't want to be a zombie. This banshee, she played three. She played knick-knack and made me pee. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. All I can hear is her scream. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway. This Yeti, he played four. He played knick-knack and broke through my door. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. Seriously, who came up with the name Yeti?
Mummy.
Yeah. This mummy, he played five. He played knick-knack, but I'm still alive. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. Like Brendan Fraser from The Mummy. This old orc, he played six. He played knick-knack with our heads on a stick. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. The One Ring is possessing me. Got to keep it somewhat relevant, right? Like it's...
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
This Kraken, he played seven. He played knick-knack, but we brought 11. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. The upside down is pretty scary. This succubus, she played eight. She played knick-knack and went irate. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool the key. These monsters want to have sex with me.
And it just got really weird.
I'd only heard up to 6.
A loser. This Cyclops, he played 9. He played knick-knack and ripped at my spine. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give Zool a key. The Cyclops' beam is burning me. I thought, a little play on the word there.
Yeah.
Last one. This werewolf, he played 10. He played knick-knack, then went back to his den. With a knick-knack paddywhack, give him a bone. This werewolf is finally home. There we go.
Nice.
You win. That was good.
That was Succubus is hilarious.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't sure where you were going with Succubus. I thought, take the soul. No, okay.
That's where we're going.
Oh, that's funny. Well, does anyone else have anything?
Chris will be back in a minute.
Okay.
But
Cyrus wrote, the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came Samwise Gamgee and flushed the spider out. Out came the sting, and with it searing pain, and the itsy bitsy spider never fucked with Sam again. Nicely done, Cyrus.
Nicely done. Yeah, I was beginning to work on one for the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get very far just because I ran out of time. But that I will try and save for next time because I think that'd be a fun one. So
yeah. Unfortunately, some of the ones like the Very Hungry Caterpillar, that one's already been done. I have a copy of that one. It's the Very Hungry Zombie.
I didn't know it was done because we were going to come up with one for that too. So
yeah, I've actually got it on my bookcase back here behind me. It's called The Very Hungry Zombie, and he goes through and eats he ate three cheerleaders and he's still hungry, and he ate 4 football players, and it's
still hungry.
And he's still hungry. So that's kind of where I got this idea from originally, was some of these, but of course a lot of them aren't for kids, but you kind of read them and they're just like, oh, they're maybe a little.
Yeah.
So it also depends on the kids. So like my boys think, zombies are just like, oh, well, it's just something to kill. Like, of course they haven't watched any movies with them, which would be kind of scary. They just think, oh, it's a zombie is something that happens, and whether it be a cartoon or a video game, and you kill it and that's it. So, it's just random enemy basically. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because Logan is full on into the horror movies right now. She really wants to watch It. She wants to watch there's another one there. Her and I she wants to watch Jaws, which I'm like, okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she wants to watch all of these, and Chris is not a horror fan at all.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, but that has passed along to Quinn, and in fact, Quinn's having a chat with Chris right now because he heard us talking, and he doesn't like he doesn't like being scared, and he doesn't like these types of things. So
right,
his imagination gets away from him, and he starts thinking about that kind of stuff. So
gotcha.
Just the little differences, because like I said, Logan is right into it and digging it. Yes, this is great.
And see, that will I don't know. Part of me thinks Nicholas will be that way and want to watch this stuff, but he's also, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go with him. So
yeah,
Alex is the one that I think though would tend to probably get more scared. So, but yeah, and there was one book we started reading, and they were like, "Daddy, this is kind of scary." I'm like, it's a book. It's
this is nothing. Like,
yeah, you haven't seen anything yet, kids.
This is your level. We got some shit to
yeah. So
yeah.
Well, I know this would make for a short show, but I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that. We go ahead and wrap up and do picks.
I think so. Let me just. Yeah. She's coming back. We'll do picks, pans, and yeah.
All right. Well, good deal. Do you have a pick or pan for the week there?
It was entertaining, at least. I hope it was. Anyway.
I hope it was too.
Picks or pans. So I'll start with a pan, and all I can say is I'm not pleased with the Senate right now, down in the States, and that's all. I'll just leave it at that. With the vote that happened today. So my pick, though, is the NHL started up again. The Leafs may have lost tonight, and that's fine, but I'm really excited because hockey's back, and I went and got a bunch of equipment, and I'm going to be on the ice myself. I can't wait to start playing.
So what sparked that? I meant to ask you about that.
So last year, Quinn wanted to try out hockey.
2 years ago.
2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So we agreed. And I got some skates and a stick, and so I played goalie for quite a long time, since I was a kid. And then what happened was long story short, there's too many goalies around our area. And so I didn't really have a team to play with. And so I wanted to get when I picked up the skates, the new skates and stick to go and help his team out just to during practices or whatever. I kind of got the itch back. I'm like, I really enjoy doing this. What can I do to? So next thing you know, I'm looking at Chris. I'm like, hey, can I maybe sign up for hockey again myself? And so because there's nobody else playing hockey in this house, and so
yeah, Quinn just lasted the 1 year.
Yeah.
Just the one season.
But that's fine.
It was not his thing.
No, at least he tried it. I mean, that's all you can ask.
Set a skate out of that.
Which is fine. And then, but yeah, so I'm pretty excited. But we did find Quinn's sport, and we were mentioning it beforehand, before the show. We signed him up for archery, and he's really digging that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty. They were playing tic-tac-toe at the end of the last game, or the last lesson. And he actually got 2 boxes. He didn't get the 3 in the line, but it was cool that he got 2 boxes. So, yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my picks.
That's awesome. Chris, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
Pick. It's Thanksgiving this weekend. I'm excited.
Yay!
So tomorrow we're having my dad's side of the family for the first time ever. We're having Thanksgiving with him.
Really?
Yeah, it's never happened. My parents got divorced when I was really young, and it just always worked out that it just happened that we never had Thanksgiving with him. And even as adults, we usually do Ray's family and then my mom, and it just never worked out that my dad got a Thanksgiving. So when my mom said that she was going to go, she bought a trailer this summer, and they were going to go to the trailer for Thanksgiving weekend. And if we were fine with that, called my sister up. I'm like, do you think Dad would want to do Thanksgiving? She's like, oh, that's a great idea. So then tell our dad. He was so excited.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really looking forward to that. So all of our kids are going to get together. So there's going to be 9 kids, 12 and under tomorrow.
Wow.
Between the ages of 12 and baby. I think the littlest one, she's like 4 or 5 months old now, 4 months old.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Her and I share a birthday.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that because I like getting together with my dad. And Quinny liking archery. Yep. Oh, I've been watching a couple of great series on Netflix. One is called The User's Guide to Cheating Death.
It's actually pretty entertaining.
Which is really great. It's 6 episodes long. It's a docuseries on Netflix. It's about this science and pop culture. On different topics, things like vaccines,
fad diets,
fad medicine, like fad treatments, like cryotherapy and things like that, what the science is behind it, or even if there is any, and then how pop culture takes science and sort of screws it up a little bit to sell things.
Yep.
People are buying it and things like, and is it harmful? Vitamins, that was the other thing, supplements versus prescription drugs and things like that.
Kind of like a Mythbusters version of.
Kind of.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then the other one was Follow This, which is BuzzFeed based, but it's also on Netflix, and it's about these trends in pop culture, and these journalists. They're only like 15 minutes to 18 minute episodes.
Some of them are 20. And
they're really short though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen some of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too. I think I only have 2 more to watch.
Yeah.
But it's just really informative about how pop culture and social media has actually changed the way we seek out information and what sources we go to and how much we actually believe and why we believe it and things like that. So it's really quite interesting. And then one more thing, I read a National Geographic magazine about blue zones, which are pockets of the population around the world that have above average people living into their hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of genetics, what commonalities do they have? And we've sort of jumped on board, and it's been 2 weeks since we've been following their diet specifically, and it's been awesome.
So, and it's nice because it's not like it's just a change in the way that we ate.
And the way we see food now.
The way that we see food, because you're actually supposed to, because when we did CrossFit, that kind of screwed up with my head anyway, and I'm pretty sure it did with yours as well, where you were looking at food as fuel, and there had to be fuel in this, that, the other. And the commonality between the blue zones is that it's actually supposed to be enjoyed, and it's supposed to be
it's like a ritual.
A ritual, and you're supposed to enjoy the food that you eat.
And the different food that people who live in these blue zones eat is exactly the opposite of what North American dietitians are telling you you're supposed to eat. And it's very interesting because it's plant-based. It's not vegan or vegetarian, but it's plant-based, and meat is treated as a festive food. Yeah. But nobody eats dairy, and meat is consumed a couple of times a month. And they drink. Yeah. Moderate drinkers.
Yeah, they enjoy their drinks. They enjoy their carbs.
And they love their carbs. Lots of beans, lots of potatoes, lots of corn, things like that. And learning the ways, the perfect foods to fuel the human body aren't what we've been taught in North America. It's very different. So it's been really interesting. And we've been doing it for 2 weeks. And the kids have been on board too, which is pretty great.
They've been eating it too. So.
Yeah.
Because again, I forgot one more thing that I was going to just chat about real quickly, and this is more for Marginal Geeky, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. There's a book by a author from Toronto called All of Our Wrong Todays, and a buddy of mine was reading it, and he's suggesting it for us to take a read of it, but I thought you might like it. It's about this individual's take on today, the way that it is, because he actually remembers everything very differently because he's already been through this. There's some sort of time travel incident, and the utopia that he came from is no longer here, and so he talks about what's happening today and all of the things that are different from the future that the present and future that he came from. So it was actually pretty interesting. It is on Audible. And the sample got me interested. So if you want to go and listen to the sample,
just send them the link to it.
Yeah, hopefully it's available in the States.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, so it's interesting anyway. So see what happens.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I actually just used my other Audible credit today. There's a series that I've been listening to that I'm like, all right, well, I'll start this up because I wasn't sure what else I wanted to kind of read or whatever. I've already our next book we're reading. I used my other credit for it, the Neil deGrasse Tyson book, and of course, reading it at double speed. I've already finished it, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I need to go back through that again. So I wasn't going to try to take notes as I was listening to it, at least the first time, because I was like, okay, I've got other stuff to do, and just kind of like trying to think about what he's saying along with whatever it is I'm doing was like, so because there's kind of some heavy stuff in that one. So I actually have 3 picks. Actually I could have had a 4th, but staying on the Netflix train. Magic for Humans. Yes. I watched it. Oh! That was really good. The guy who does that is a friend of Brian Brushwood's, who's the guy in Austin that does the podcasting and the magician, and he'd also given it really high praise. And I watched it. I was like, I sat down. I watched all of them in one sitting. I enjoyed them. So
the Marshall is my favorite.
With the kids.
The kids, the kids with the marshmallows was fantastic.
Yes.
Susan's. Anyway.
especially whenever he creates that pile and they're just sitting there like, what is going on? Yeah. I've also started watching Disenchantment. It's I'm finding it funny. Not as funny as I thought I would find it, but I'm enjoying it. Definitely, being a Matt Groening show. And Christy and I think we've only got about 3 episodes left of Castle Rock on Hulu. It is not written by Stephen King, but is set in kind of the Stephen King universe. So there is a lot of references to a lot of Stephen King stuff. So just at any given time, even in the intro, it's like a bunch of random pages kind of going in front of the screen or whatever, and it does reference The Shining and It and everything else. And there was a part in there where one of the girls that is talking, she's like, there's just weird shit just happens here. Like, my uncle, like, apparently lost his fucking mind and tried to kill my aunt and my cousin at this, this lodge out, this skiing lodge or whatever. And, my parents never talk about it. And I'm just like, well, there was The Shining. That was the reference for The Shining. Really good. If you like Stephen King stuff, I can't recommend it enough. So, and the guy who plays we don't know what he is yet in the story. He's possibly the villain. He's just the weird kid as it is. And it's played by Bill Skarsgård, aka Pennywise. So I'm like, okay, well, I wonder why they picked him to be in this show. Not that it's not the Stephen King thing, but anyway, and then another thing I just could kind of mention is, so since we talked last time on this show, Austin Comic-Con happened, and I had a blast. The first night, it was just me and Lainey, and the second day, we had members from the San Antonio group and other members from the Austin group show up. And then Sunday, we had we had one or two members from San Antonio show back up, and we had members from the Houston group show up. So we had a huge group. In fact, I've got the picture that Wizard World allowed us to take there in front. So, nice. But yeah, it was a fun group. I know that. There we go. The Shine. There we go. There you go. But yeah, we had a blast on that. So
cool.
Good. It was a good group of people. So. And then I have done a panel at Wizard World. Yay! So, which was pretty awesome. Cyrus says his pick for the week is the trailer for Daredevil season 3. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but if it's anything like the second season, I'll have to watch it, even though I have not watched any of the other shows. But
yeah.
So,
but with Disney pulling all the Marvel stuff, who knows what's I guess these are the ends of those shows. So
I don't know, because Netflix is doing it with it, that they may not be able to. I heard some of that stuff that they may not be able to fully pull out on that. So they may have to just, at least keep that there for the foreseeable future. So yeah, we'll see. So of course, my boys and I are about, I guess, maybe halfway through Clone Wars, and then of course we need to start Rebels, and then that new one is starting on that new Disney thing that's happening this fall, or I'm just like, oh great, another service I need to pay for. So but we'll see how that goes. All right, so that is our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Music. It really does help out. You can find us at epicallygeeky.com, and of course find us on Epically Geeky on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Where can we find you on the internet, Ray?
So you can find me here, obviously Marginal Geeky as well. We got to talk to Lainey whenever Lainey starts getting back into this and set up a Rhythm and Brews. That'd be nice. Figure that out. And then on Instagram, you can find me Lake Life Artist, and that's probably the best spot to find me right now.
Good deal. Chris, where can we find you online?
Here. And Marginally Geeky, and a new little spoke of the Epically Geeky family to come soon. And Instagram at Cedar Birch Cottage.
Oh, that reminds me. Actually, I'm supposed to meet with Jennifer, I think, on Wednesday to start editing that. So, yeah. I got a packed week coming up. I've got a packed week coming up, let me tell you. And then, as always, you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night. And we're out.